Everyone talks about Cristiano Ronaldo as the greatest player Portugal ever produced, and that conversation is completely justified. But here is the part of the story that gets skipped over every single time, and it is the part that makes everything Ronaldo did feel even more remarkable. Portugal had a golden generation before him, a genuinely extraordinary group of players that the world looked at and said, these are the ones. This is the team that finally takes Portugal to the very top of international football. Luis Figo, the 2001 Ballon d'Or winner, one of the greatest wingers the sport has ever seen. Rui Costa, an elegant playmaker so gifted that AC Milan fans called him the heir to everything Zidane stood for. Deco, a technically brilliant midfielder who had just won the Champions League with Porto. Vitor Baía, one of the most reliable goalkeepers in Europe. Names that would walk into almost any squad in the world. And with all of them playing together, Portugal reached the Euro 2000 semi-final, reached the Euro 2004 final on home soil, finished 4th at the 2006 World Cup, and won exactly 0 major trophies. Not one. They went out to Greece in the Euro 2004 final, a result so humiliating on home soil that Portuguese fans still struggle to talk about it without wincing. All that talent, all those years, nothing to show for it. That is the weight Cristiano Ronaldo inherited when he stepped forward as Portugal's undisputed leader after 2006, and that context is everything, because what he eventually delivered was not just a trophy, it was proof that this country could actually win something. Now here is what people get wrong about the Ronaldo era though, and this matters enormously for understanding where Portugal go next. He did not win Euro 2016 by being the best player on the pitch in every game. He won it by being the heartbeat of a group of players who genuinely believed in each other in a way that Portuguese squads had not managed since the Eusebio generation of 1966. When Ronaldo went off injured in the final against France in the 20th minute, limping off in tears at the biggest moment of his career, you would have expected Portugal to fall apart psychologically. They did the opposite. They organized, they dug in, they fought for each other with a desperation and collective fury that was genuinely emotional to watch. Eder, a player nobody outside Portugal could have named as a starter, scored the winner in extra time. That team did not win because of one man. They won because when that one man went down, 10 others refused to let him lose. That version of Portugal is the one that always had the highest ceiling, and it is the version that has been painfully absent from almost everything we have watched at this World Cup, because you have to be honest about what happened here. Colombia dominated Portugal throughout their group stage meeting, outshooting them 24-13, generating nearly 2.5 times the expected goals that Portugal created. Against Uzbekistan and Congo DR, the performances were functional at best and forgettable at worst. The passion that defined 2016, that sense of 11 men ready to run through walls for each other, was not there in the group stage, and you felt its absence in every match. The one exception was the Spain game, a round of 16 clash where Portugal finally pressed higher, committed bodies forward, and played with the tempo and urgency this squad is genuinely capable of producing. For one game, they looked like a team that actually wanted it badly enough, but a late Mikel Merino winner sent them home, and with them went Ronaldo, in tears on the pitch in Dallas, at 41 years old. His 6th and final World Cup ending, without the one trophy that always eluded him. Now here is the villain in this story that nobody wants to name directly. It is not Spain, it is not Morocco from 2022 or Uruguay from 2018. The villain is a culture that built itself so completely around one man's presence that it forgot how to function as a collective unit when the pressure of a major tournament demanded exactly that. Roberto Martinez was criticized throughout this tournament for his unwavering faith in Ronaldo despite the goal-scoring form of Gonzalo Ramos from the bench, a player who has now scored in consecutive World Cups and deserved far more than cameo appearances. That tactical stubbornness cost Portugal moments they cannot get back. But here is where this story genuinely gets interesting, because the future is not as dark as this exit suggests. Vitinha, João Neves, and Nuno Mendes arrived at this World Cup as back-to-back Champions League winners with PSG, and Neves at 20 years old is already operating as one of the most composed, deep-lying midfielders in European football. Rafael Leão has the kind of pace and unpredictability that terrorizes defenders at the highest level. Pedro Neto creates chances with a consistency that his goals tally does not fully reflect. This group has real quality. What it needs now is an identity that belongs entirely to them, built from scratch, without the shadow of someone irreplaceable hovering over every tactical decision. The 2030 World Cup is partly hosted on Portuguese soil. This core will be 4 years older, 4 years more experienced, and 4 years into proving whether they can build the same kind of collective belief that made 2016 so special, this time without Ronaldo handing it to them. Whether they can is the most compelling question in Portuguese football right now, because the golden generation of Figo and Rui Costa proved that talent without belief wins nothing, and Euro 2016 proved that belief without one extraordinary individual can still win everything. Portugal's next chapter has to find a way to hold both truths at exactly the same time.